Hi everyone, on this video we're going to be learning about graphing on restricted and unrestricted domains. In order to graph, we first must graph accurate points, usually on a graph provided. It is recommended to graph at least 2 points for a line and 5 points for any other graph. 2, it's also important that we copy the table of values in order to show the actual coordinates to graph. Let's look at this first example. Number 1, on the grid below, graph the function f of x is equal to x cubed minus 6x squared plus 9x plus 6 on the domain -1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 4. If you notice, it gives us a domain, and what we call this is a restricted domain. That's when we use no arrows, we graph the endpoints with solid points based on the given interval specified. Put the equation into y equals and copy down the table of values only for the given interval. Only graph these specific points. So right now, everyone should be putting f of x equals x cubed minus 6x squared plus 9x plus 6 on their calculator and y equals, and then going to the table of values. Pause the video now to do this. I did this and then wrote down the table of values. Now I need to graph them. So I'm going to go to -1 and go down to -10. And plot my point, and it should be a closed circle. Then go to 0, 6, 1, 10, 2, 8, 3, 6, and 4, 10. And I'm going to connect my points. Notice that I do not have arrows because I have a restricted domain. I'm only graphing the points between -1 and 4 as my x values. And then I'm going to label my graph f of x. Remember, because it says the word graph, we have to graph specific points. We have to plot the specific points from the table. Next, in order to sketch, first, you do not need to graph accurate points. Just copy down the general shape you see from the calculator screen. Then label the axis and the equations, and it's helpful to label the x and y intercepts. Let's take a look at this example. Number 2, the zeros of a quartic polynomial function h are -1, positive and -2, and 3. Sketch the graph of y is equal to h of x on the grid below. Now first, we notice that it is the 4th power, and it's even, which means our arrows are either going up or down. Now it gave us the zeros, so we have when x is equal to -1, when x is equal to -2, +2, and +3. So we have 4 zeros, which means it's going to intersect the x-axis 4 times. So right now, pause the video, draw in your x and y axis on the grid, and then plot your points at -1, 0, -2, 0, 2, 0, and 3, 0. Here I drew in my x and y axis, and now I'm going to plot my points at -1, 0, -2, 0, 2, 0, and 3. And now I'm going to connect, but because it's even, the arrows have to go in the same direction. So I'll put my arrows up at the top here. And again, because it's a sketch, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate, which clearly it's not. I'm then going to label it h of x.